players.
I'll start with Chris. How important is it to kind of be able to flush the weekend, flush Monday night, and come out here and get a win and be successful swinging the bat?
I mean, it is good to flush it, but I don't think anyone thought after the weekend that we needed to flush that series. I mean, we didn't play our best baseball, but this was the first time Florida State had their healthy lineup and all their guys back, and we still barely lost them. I think that's what's really good about our team, and we know that we're good, and we just came back today and played a good game and won.
Seth, do you feel like things have changed for you? Things have kind of gone your way, that you kind of got into a groove over the last several games?
I think the biggest thing is, I was trying to swing my way out of it, and you can't do that. Not in the ACC, not in college, not Division I. You can't do that. Pro guys, you don't see guys do that. And I think that was the biggest thing is my zone got so big over the course of that stretch that I was swinging anything. And in my opinion, what my best tool at the plate is being able to pick pitches and being able to pick up on spin and stuff like that, and be able to shrink the strike zone to a select group of pitches. And I had kind of expanded that, and I feel like Coach and I had talked about it, and I've kind of shrunk that zone back down, and the confidence has just kind of grown. All of a sudden I'm in counts where I'm in advantage counts, and I'm looking for good pitches to hit, and I think that was just the biggest thing.
Oh, and you came into a big spot. You haven't had a lot of appearances this season. How much were the nerves hitting you, and how long did that take to go away, and what was working well for you on the mound?
I wouldn't say the nerves were hitting me. I just felt good finally getting on the mound, and having Chris behind the plate, he really helps me settle in and get focused on what I need to do. So I wouldn't say I was that nervous.
Seth, I remember last year you and Monty had some conversations about shrinking that zone and making sure that you knew when a pitcher makes a pitch, it's not far away from your pitch, and to see the difference. Did you draw on any of that? Were there similar conversations, or was it a little different this time?
Obviously, this time last year was kind of towards the end of the course of how I was the hit streak and all that stuff. And thinking back on some of those at bats in those past years, if it was a strike, it was something that I couldn't drive to the opposite part of the field or up the middle. I wasn't swinging at it, even if it was a strike. I'd take my chances and look for something else. And I think I lost that kind of along the way, and I think that was one of the biggest things is, all of a sudden I'm counting the strikes and not, focusing on the next pitch, going, oh, I got 2 strikes here, I need to protect, I need to widen my zone, I need to think about where my hands are, where my feet are, basically everything, and everything's just jumbled up in my mind, and, I've just kind of dumbed it down to, looking for a select group of pitches to hit, and almost to the point where, I'm just going out there and having fun with my teammates and my friends.
Seth, you swept Georgia 2 years in a row, your home state team. How much does that mean to you personally?
I got a lot of friends on that team, so it's going to be some good time talking about it, and I won't let them forget it. That's for sure.
Chris, with the way the guys are getting on base in front of you, do you feel like you come up every time with somebody in scoring position, or is that the way it feels?
Sometimes, and recently I've been just trying to do too much, and that, and hitting with Seth yesterday and our off day. Our main focus was just not to do too much, and just kind of take what the pitcher gives you and drive it towards the big part of the field. And coming into today, I think that helped a lot with my confidence, and stepping into the plate, just trying not to do too much, and I got that double and really got us going.
Chris, you called this staff over the weekend. It seemed like more walks than you guys are accustomed to giving up in Tallahassee. And tonight you come out, you don't walk anybody. Are you responsible for that? Is that a focus, or is that just something that happened tonight?
It's definitely just something that happened. Our pitches have been unbelievable all year. It was just one weekend. It's baseball. It happens. Sometimes you're gonna have your offense going. Sometimes you have your pitching. It just happens. And it's nothing against our pitchers. They competed as hard as they could. It's just a couple balls fell off the plate that weren't called strikes, and a couple balls that just were over the plate that they just connected on, and just got ahead of Florida State. They took what we had and did whatever they wanted with it.
Chris, obviously things kind of amp up from here, intensity-wise on the schedule. When you look at the big picture, what do you make of the way this team is performing right now?
The big thing is our big focus is playing pitch by pitch, game by game, and we try not to look too far ahead in our schedule, And we know coming into this weekend, Wake Forest is a good team, but if we play our baseball and like how we like to pitch, how we play defense, and how we hit, we're confident that this will be a fun weekend.
Oh, as a reliever, is it easier sometimes to come in when the game is in the balance, that you got runners on base and you have to bear down, rather than, hey, I've got a 6 or 7 run lead, nobody's on base? It's a little bit easier to bear down and grind that way.
I mean, when I come in, I just try to focus on what's at hand. I don't really think about what the score is or how many guys are on base. I just try to throw strikes and help contribute to the team as much as I can.
Anything else?